Hey gang, what's going on? Juan from the Byte, that team here to talk about WWE 24 NXT, which of course talks about the previous NXT TakeOver show. Of course, we just recently got NXT TakeOver Respect, which was an outstanding show, and we've been getting so much NXT content, great content on the network, and this documentary is absolutely no exception. If you have not seen this, please do yourself a favor and check it out. So, what is WWE 24? It is a behind-the-scenes documentary that talks about different things happening in the world of the WWE, usually a weekend, a specific event. It's not detailing an entire career or an entire event's history. So in this case, we are talking about NXT TakeOver Brooklyn, which happened at the Barclays Center the night before SummerSlam. There was so much hype going around this show. Outstanding show as well. We had Bayley versus Sasha Banks. We had Finn Balor, Tyler Breeze. Now, what do they cover here? It is the behind the scenes, how they go about making sure this happens. They go into a lot of detail about the NXT movement itself, talking about how it started from FCW and that it transformed into NXT. They, sort of poke fun of the fact that in FCW, they would have shows with 5 to 10 people, but here we are, 13,000 sold out audience, caring about women's wrestling, caring about all these people that are supposed to be developmental, as Triple H talks about candidly in this documentary, but we see that NXT has simply taken a life of its own. Not just that, but they actually single out a couple of different individual stories. We're talking Sasha Banks, Bayley, Becky Lynch, Finn Balor, Kevin Owens, and they sort of give a mini documentary as to what each of these people did before going to NXT, before going to WWE. A lot of their family goes into the picture, so you even see Kevin Owens' child, just the whole experience of getting to see one of his idols, John Cena, sort of go face to face against his father, and just that reaction, and most importantly, just why all these people care about NXT so much. It definitely feels like it is a movement. It is not a developmental brand. It is not simply another wrestling show that's on the network because they got to have more wrestling. You feel the hunger in this documentary. It is simply so emotional, especially people like Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch and Bayley. They talk about how when they first started, they didn't really find themselves, especially Sasha Banks, who is the generic, goody two-shoes babyface, but then she discovered the boss character. And at one point, Bayley read an essay she wrote at school and basically started breaking down because in the essay, she ends stating that she would love to become the WWE Women's Champion. And of course, we know what happened at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn. She did become the NXT Women's Champion, and talking about everything such as not wanting Sasha Banks to leave, Sasha Banks not wanting to leave, the whole planning process, Finn Balor's paint process, just every little detail. And this is where we go even more behind the scenes, because usually, in many documentaries, we do get these people talking about the developmental process of wrestling, not just NXT. But in here we get camera angles that we otherwise would not see. We get to see Tyler Breeze try his entrance. We see Finn Balor. We see Baron Corbin. So many people just really trying to do the very best for this show in particular. And it really gives you a much better perspective as to just how much work goes into making a show like NXT, which, if that is the smaller scale, can one even imagine just how difficult it is to put a show like Raw together? And of course, when you talk about putting the show together, you have to bring up Triple H, who is a key point in this entire documentary. There's at one point where there's a scene at Full Sail University, and they're actually inside a classroom, and the whole NXT roster is there. We're talking, Enzo and Cass, Samoa Joe, the whole gang is there. And then Triple H is basically saying, you guys did that. You guys deserve this. You guys sold out the Barclays Center, and you need to deliver. This is your baby. And Triple H is like the proud father, talking to people like Bayley and Sasha Banks. This is a documentary that runs at around 1 hour. When WWE 24 first started happening, the first thing we said was, we need something that is lengthy, something that covers, niche topics that otherwise would not become a DVD, because let's be honest, we would not see a DVD of the making of one specific NXT show, let alone about the entire brand. But thanks to the network, we do get to see that experience. And that's something, to me, that reminds me, number one, why I love wrestling, because I got emotional when you see somebody like Becky Lynch see her mother, and then all the trials and tribulations that they've had. She hasn't seen her mother in 8 months, and then she gets to see her there. The meaning behind that is just so amazing that when you do see them wrestle, you almost forget who's a bad guy or who's a good guy or girl. You just care about these people. They deliver so many things about the fans, about talking Dusty Rhodes. So please do yourself a favor, check it out. And if you have, please drop a brief review in the comments section. And what else would you like to see from WWE 24, particularly about NXT? Personally, I really hope that as people move up on the roster, like a Sasha Banks, Charlotte, Becky Lynch, we sort of get a year in review. What happened at the point where they were leaving NXT and what has happened a year later? Of course, that may be a controversial thing because it doesn't always work out too well, but that's something that I would absolutely love to see. So thanks for hanging out with me here for a couple of minutes. Make sure to check out the podcast available every single Tuesday night. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and if you really like us, make sure to subscribe to the channel because we will be reviewing way more shows. We talk about them in the podcast. We're going to be having some more video game content, WWE 2K16 Fight Night, which is our sexy fantasy wrestling league, all happening right here. So until next time, thank you for watching, and we will be back with tons more right here on Byte That.